Yes.
I feel like we have the ability, we have the knowledge. I feel like...
And plus, your audience is big.
It's massive, it's big. And the good thing is, we're not limited to Africa. Okay, so
That's what
there's a lot of people from all over the place. Let's just talk about Africa. We have people in Ghana, Uganda, Rwanda, South Africa, Nigeria. We got people from all over the world. We have Jamaica. Wagwan me boss. Sorry, I just had to say Wagwan me boss.
Yep.
America, UK. We have people from all over the world watching us, and it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
So
people from South
exciting.
Africa as well.
And South Africa. All beautiful people of beautiful ladies of South Africa.
I would say the beautiful people of South Africa.
Yeah, I know your language has changed. Eh? I'm not going to reveal why your language.
Ever since we got this, and
the man got married. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's good, man. I'm very happy for you, man.
Thank you so much.
So you've put on weight right away, like your muscles have grown.
I feel blessed, refreshed.
Even your language has changed. Now you feel blessed, refreshed.
I'm telling you, he whoever find a good wife finds.
I just remember a few months ago you were like, "Let's go to the shop."
No, actually, he whoever find a woman finds.
So no more buying food from the shops. And stuff.
No more eating outside.
The food is fresh.
The food is fresh,
right from the sea, from the shops.
Somebody special is taking care of me.
Somebody special taking care of me. You better take care of her, man. You know, women are very sensitive.
It's a duty.
She can be very, very good with you now until you start breaking her heart.
You know, once you say I do, I believe it's for life.
Yeah.
You know, you settled. And
listen to this man.
You've made a decision to take care of this person for the rest of their lives.
Well, you better continue doing that.
Most definitely.
Because sometimes men forget.
Yeah.
Then the lady's not as sweet as she used to be.
Having people like you in my life, it's a blessing because every now and then, you know, you there.
It's much appreciated, man. Yeah. You're a blessing for us.
You're always there. You're giving me good advices much of the time.
Okay, but let's go back before you got married and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So what have you learned from traveling? I mean, you're a well-traveled person.
Yes.
What's for you the benefit of traveling?
You get to know a lot of different cultures. The people, the food. You know, I've got so many good memories about the food, the people, culture as well.
Because some people say, well, my country is good. We have everything. We have buildings. We have shop rides. We have pick and pay. I don't need to go anywhere else. Well, why should I leave my country? I don't need the passport. What do you say to such person?
I don't think it's about the infrastructure. For me, it's about the people.
Yeah.
For me, it's about the heart.
The experience.
The way I feel about you when we're together, when I interact with somebody I've never met before.
Yeah.
The way I feel the spirit.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most thing that
you don't know white people travel quite a bit. White people travel a lot.
Yeah, they do.
White people
because they can afford it as well.
No. Forget about that. That's an excuse. We can all afford cars. I'm sorry. Today you see most black people can afford cars.
But not everyone can afford to go to Hawaii, for example.
Most people can afford cars. Most people have apartments at the minimum. So if you can afford a car and an apartment, you can probably travel. Yeah. White people travel in the 20s. Okay, right after university, you see them going, I went to the kibbutz in Israel. Worked in the kibbutz in Israel. I went to Poland. I went to visit Singapore. By the time he's 26, 27, he comes back home, he's all relaxed.
Very knowledgeable.
And I mean, I know many people are watching us, but white people are not just limited to Europe or America. I know many people think when you hear white people, you think white people Europe. There are white people all over the place. In Africa,
all over the world.
There are plenty of white people as well.
Yes.
So by the time they come back, they settle. They've acquired experience about where they've been. So then they focus on getting married and founding a family.
Yes.
But it feels like with our communities, as soon as you get some money, you want a brand new car. You want to move to the most lavish area of the city.
Yes.
And if you're a man, you just access a brand new level of women.
I think it goes way back to how it all started. Because white people, what is the background? What type of family are you coming from?
Yeah.
Most black families are poor. Let's say if my grandmother was a domestic worker, how could my father ever afford to travel the world?
Yeah.
Practically impossible. So the first thing I want to get is the things that I used to dream of.
Absolutely.
Once I make a little bit of money.
You want to be an M4.
I used to see my white neighbors driving the Ferrari. Yeah. So not knowing that Ferrari came after many years.
Absolutely.
Or some people that could be a bonus. So, okay, I've got so many houses now. I've got so many businesses. Now I can afford a luxury of buying myself a Ferrari.
Yeah.
But for us, you just seeing the car. You don't know before the car what else.
Of course, you want to show everybody that you're doing great in life. Yeah. Apartment in the most lavish area of the city. I mean, the money you spend on renting an apartment could be money you could be investing on something productive.
Most definitely.
Okay, and I believe the best investment is investing on yourself.
Yes.
I personally think, this is just my view, traveling is, after school, the best investment you can do about yourself.
I think the issue we have about our black community is that a lot of people are not knowledgeable when it comes to investment.
Yeah.
Life is not all about making money and spend it.
Yes.
You've got to plan 5 years time, 5 years to come, 10 years. What will I be? What will I become? How much am I investing into myself so that I can become relevant 5 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Sure. Unfortunately, a lot of our people are not investing in themselves. They don't have a proper plan, Let's say you make a little bit of money and then you want to go and live in an expensive neighborhood.
It feels
not knowing that, okay, you may be able to afford. You can stay there, but how much are you saving?
How much are you saving?
Yeah.
That's why people live months to months waiting for salary.
Plenty of people that I know, they've got good jobs, good vehicles, good places where they live into. But somewhere in the middle of the month, they are the ones to call left and right and say, hey, yo,
they need money for
I'm
petrol.
running out of petrol. Can you please hook me up?
That's so immature, fella. I'm sorry. But you ask him running out of money for petrol, if you had enough money, is very immature.
Yes.
You not having money to put airtime on your cell phone, it's very immature.
But think of it this way. If you can tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to stay in the most expensive area.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in a place whereby I can afford to pay a little much.
Yes.
But let's say 60% of my salary goes to my savings.
Yeah.
2 years then, I can be able to start a business.
Absolutely. I mean, let me give you an example. You've been to South Africa, right?
Yeah.
You've been to South Africa.
I've been to South Africa,
You've lived in Sandton. Sandton is one of the most prominent area in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Okay, it's a beautiful place.
That is a place to be when you're in South Africa.
It's a place to be for most people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I noticed was a lot of people want to stay in Sandton, even though Sandton doesn't necessarily have affordable houses for rental or apartments.
Yes.
A lot of people will try to squeeze into Sandton, living in a very tiny apartment, 2 bedrooms, no space, no garden, nothing. Pay almost $1,000, which is about 20,000 rand, rather than staying in a place outside Sandton, which is perhaps 15 kilometers outside Sandton, but with the same amount of money, we'll have a big, massive house, a standalone house, or even for much less than that. They will have a much nicer place and go to Sandton when they need to go to Sandton and come back home when they need to come back home. And it feels to me like it's a matter of status. You want to show people I can afford to be in Sandton.
Yes.
Where do you live? I live in Sandton.
I live in Sandton. Like to most women back then, where do you live? I'm in Sandton. It's so sad because the issue that we have is that most people, they're living for status, and few of the people live for the future. It's really, really sad.
It's amazing when you see white people. Sometimes you can't even tell that they have money.
You can't.
I was shocked when I was interacting with the father of a friend of mine. So he wasn't present, and this friend of mine traveled to New Zealand. Me and his father had a good relationship, and it happened one day that I was with him when he had a crisis, a fit. So then I had to put some papers and stuff, and I saw banking papers.
Yeah.
And I was shocked.
The amount of money.
The amount of money I saw. Because this man just
house.
looks like a normal man.
Yes.
He drove a small Toyota.
Yes.
But the amount of millions that was on that paper.
I've been to places in South Africa. That was a small town, I believe. You find people that drives small cars. Toyota Corollas, Picantos and all these things. Every day, going to work up and down. But go see them on the weekend. See where they live.
Well, you see, that's the problem.
Mind blowing.
That's what most most of our community, most black people can't do. They would rather drive the biggest car and have the least of the money in the pocket rather than do the opposite. That's and I got somebody telling me, yeah, you must let us leave because we never held this in the past.
No, that's
but you can't do that forever.
That's foolish. I'd rather suffer for now.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give myself another 5 years. I don't mind. As long as I can be able to grow my business. Yeah. You know, and get to the level whereby, okay, now I'm able to spend the money I want to spend because you've invested enough.
Yes. You know, so your travel, have you been to Zambia before?
Yes, I did.
Zambia. What do you know about Zambia?
Oh,
I heard a lot of stories about Zambia.
Recently I was there. Zambia has changed a lot.
Zambia has changed?
With the influence of Chinese, you know, it's a different place. It's not the place that used to be before. 10 years back, it was just a country, you know, it was normal. But now it seems like things are blowing up.
Blowing up for the good or not, or for the bad? For the good.
When you're in the capital city, things are much different.
It's looking good.
Very, very good.
So you feel
you might think you're somewhere in Johannesburg.
Okay. But what is Zambia giving in return for that?
We don't know. We don't know. You know,
I heard a story. There was a restaurant in Zambia where Zambians were not allowed to go.
Yeah.
Only Chinese people were allowed to that restaurant.
The Chinese people are doing that everywhere they go. If you go to New York City, you'll find an area whereby it's only Chinese.
Yeah, but no. In Zambia was a situation where a black man went with his girlfriend to a Chinese restaurant. And the Chinese restaurant said the woman can come in because she's Chinese, but you cannot come in. In Zambia, really that's unacceptable.
You know, not from Zambia. Then my wife said, oh, she means you are not allowed in the shop. That's when I was confused. Foreigner. I am the foreigner in this situation. So she said, then my wife asked the lady, what do you mean? She said, oh no, the Chinese can come inside. You have to wait outside. You can't come inside.
Yeah, apparently Chinese have taken certain things in Zambia, certain lands in Zambia is hostage because of the amount of money the government is owing them.
Okay.
So they've put in quite a lot of money.
They've taken lands from Zambia.
Yes.
Jesus.
Also, in terms of the infrastructure, the Chinese people have invested a lot of money. They've built stadiums. They've done a lot of things. So in return, since the Zambian government were not able to pay them back their money,
so then they can do whatever they like.
They can do whatever they like.
That's very dangerous.
And it's going to be like that for many of our countries in Africa, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you know, China is a lot of human beings. And they're trying to get them out of China.
They're looking for new places, my brother.
I'm telling you, when these boys are born in Africa, they'll tell you, I'm African like you. I want to be the president.
Look, I met Chinese people in South Africa. They were South Africans. I was like, how come you look Chinese? You must have been from China. I said, no. I came here a very long time ago. I'm South African. Some will tell you I'm born here. Some will tell you we're South Africans because when Mandela came out of prison, apparently he did some things. The Chinese are now part of the black people because I was
the Chinese are black.
Yes, I was
what
told.
What do you mean?
I was told. Yes, I was told.
Chinese in South Africa are black.
In South Africa, I was told.
Oh my God!
Among the black people, Chinese are also part of the black people because in South Africa you've got the white people, you've got the colored people, and you've got
Indians.
The Indians. You know, that side of Durban. Also in Johannesburg, there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
But now, when you go to the black people, Chinese
are black
are considered as black people.
So I know there's a program, I think it's called Black Empowerment, Black Economic Empowerment.
Yes.
Where they give black people opportunities.
Oh, yes. BE, something like that.
Yeah, where the black people get opportunities to have businesses because black people never really had business in the past.
Yes.
They'll make sure that black people are seated at the highest level of companies.
Yes.
So are the Chinese profiting from that too?
As a business owner in South Africa, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, so you own a business in South Africa?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. My man is international. International.
We're trying the best we can.
I love that.
We need to leave a legacy to our kids.
That's beautiful.
You know.
So I heard about stories about talking about Zambia, marriages in Zambia. Apparently, the traditional celebration of marriages in Zambia are very peculiar. The woman has to go to the groom's family and cook.
Yes, something like that.
Like cook a lot of food or something like that. Yes. What do you think? What do you know about that?
I don't know very much about that, but I know about the women and the way they behave into their marriages and stuff like that. You know,
okay. How do they behave?
I was told quite a lot of stuff. It's two ways.
Yeah.
First, before Zambia didn't have the influence of the West.
Okay.
You understand? Right now, the West has very much influenced them. Even the way they dress now is no longer the same. Zambians.
Okay.
Zambian women used to dress very decently.
Very conservative.
Back in the day. You never used to see
skin. Okay.
When you see a woman walking on the road, they're dressed up to their toes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a taboo to see women dressing almost naked. And today, when you go to Lusaka, most women are almost dressing like, you know, like the West.
Now, isn't that what's happening in all of Africa? I mean, people are very slowly moving toward the direction that is
not everywhere. I've been to Uganda. I didn't see that.
Do you feel Ugandans are more conservative?
Yes,
my brother, you don't know Uganda.
Yes, I don't
Ugandans
know.
are crazy.
I don't know the hotel.
I'm telling you, Uganda is the partiest place I've ever experienced.
Oh, really?
Uganda. These people party on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Sunday at 3 o'clock in the morning,
really?
They dancing. Hey, are you okay? Are you leaving?
Is it not South
I'm
Africa?
still here. I have to go to work. Tomorrow I'm going to work. What? Look at the time. 4 o'clock is still, hey. That's Uganda.
But is it not South Africa, if I'm not mistaken?
No. Uganda.
The country where people party
are definitely partier than South Africans.
Wow, I didn't know.
No doubt about that. It's a lovely place.
I guess I need to spend more time.
No, you should. It's lovely people. It's quite secure.
But going back to Zambia, the culture it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got some issues as well here and there. Like the women are very much attached to their traditional ways of doing things.
Okay.
Let's say you found a man and you want to make sure that man doesn't go anywhere. Okay. To stay with you. You go around the corner.
Some witchcraft.
And see somebody special. And do things. And they used to tell us back in the day, don't go near a Zambian woman.
Can I please have some juice here? Don't go near a Zambian woman.
Don't go near a Zambian woman, because once you go there, they might just do something, and then you find yourself in Zambia forever. You went there to visit.
My brother's from the United States of America. I'm from the UK. Don't go to Zambia.
You might have been there for a holiday or something, but believe me, once you meet a Zambian woman, your life story can change.
Okay, so what's special about Zambian? I want to know. And beside the witchcraft,
they're very respectful.
Okay,
very respectful women.
Okay,
they are beautiful too. Very respectful. I'm sorry to my woman. I said that they're beautiful.
It's fine.
Right now, the most beautiful person on earth, it's her.
We already know that.
So Zambian women are very respectful. They're beautiful.
Not challenging.
They're kind. They're not arrogant.
Not arrogant.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Now,
like some other places.
You don't think that's perhaps because naturally, when a man takes care of business, when a man has got the money, when the woman is behind the man, naturally she becomes submissive. Naturally, she becomes respectful, because you not necessarily depending that you have a man who's got the money.
Yes.
And once the woman has more money than the man, that becomes a bit challenging. Like, how many times do you see a woman, an African woman, a black woman who's got more money than the man? Number one, date him. Number two, respect him for a long time. It's easy to respect somebody for 1 week or 14 days. But consistently respecting a man who earns less than you or is not working for 6 months is not easy.
No, it becomes impossible.
Not in our communities.
It becomes impossible. I think that is a natural thing. I can say it wasn't meant for woman to lead or for a woman to rule. That's the reason why they say the man is the chief of the family.
Right, but they don't believe that anymore. They say you're thinking backward.
Look, we're living in a world whereby
women don't believe that anymore, my man. Women only believe in the man that parks his Porsche or his Range Rover outside. That's the man that gets the respect.
10 years ago, it wasn't the case.
I'm sorry. Things have changed. My man, 10 years ago, there was no none of these things. There was no AI.
I would say it's the influence of the West. Unfortunately, Africa wasn't like that.
Never used to be like that.
I've known people with the women, with the wife that had more money than them, but They had a good life.
How many people do you know like that?
It's few, my brother.
How many people do you know?
Most of the time, when the woman's got more money than the man, it's issues in the house.
Yeah, but that was back in time. I remember my mother used to earn more money than my father. She was always respectful. Always respectful.
Not
always calling my dad, my husband, my husband, my husband. My father worked as a government official.
You know why?
Why?
Because we were not influenced by the West.
There was no feminism like it is today. Yeah. The feminism of today is equality.
Today, the culture is to, you must have money, you must dress in a certain way, you must drive a certain type of car. If you don't have this and that, you're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things are no longer the same as they used to be.
And the quality of the man is established based on how much money you earn. I'm sorry. That's the bottom of it. You can be as ugly as you want. You can be as funny, as weird as you want. You can even sometimes not be a nice person. But if you are providing the bread, you're providing the butter at another level, you rank up high.
A woman can
as
be loved with you.
What it used to be in the past with our parents.
Yes.
Where even though my father never really had money, he was a leader.
Yes.
He was present. He was a pastor to his children.
Yes.
He was the directional tool. He was the pillar of the house. Today, people don't care about that.
No, today both parents are working with the new culture. The woman feels very much in charge.
Okay, so you were telling me about Zambia. You said Zambian women are wonderful. What's wonderful about them?
I mean,
so how do you get that stuff? I mean, they put that witchcraft in you, like they put it in the food, or what? Do they massage you with oil, or what?
It's many ways, my brother.
So you have a lot of friends that they've remained in Zambia forever.
Yeah.
They were going past, but
till this day, I've got quite a lot of friends who are still in Zambia.
Like many years down the line.
Many years down the line.
Are they happy though?
They were all visiting the country, and then today they've got children.
Now I want to go to Zambia just for curiosity. No, I'm not going to do anything because that's not the goal. I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to go.
And the women back then, they used to be very proud of themselves.
Proud of themselves.
Like, you try a Zambian woman, you never go anywhere. You stay here.
Do they say that themselves?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's like they used to beat themselves up in the chest and
like,
say,
don't dare us. Don't let your men out here.
Otherwise, you're gonna lose your man.
Americans don't send your men.
I've known a lot of white men that came from Europe for tourism to Zambia. They didn't go back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You gotta be careful.
Interesting. A lot of white men.
A lot of white men.
I'm sorry, but our sisters know how to treat white men good. I'm just being honest. I know a lot of people don't like that. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Our sisters treat white men
our sisters,
much better than they treat us.
You see, naturally, our sisters do have a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Even though we can complain about certain things in our days, our women still do respect men. Yeah, somehow they will speak to you in a certain way. Not like these women from the West, you know what I'm saying?
Not
when you go to London, when you go to Paris.
I'm sorry.
You know,
they have respect when you have money, my friend.
No. But generally,
when you have money, they respect you.
Generally, like,
when you don't have money, I don't know.
Have you been to Swaziland?
Never been to Swaziland.
My brother,
but I know it's amazing, eh?
You need to go to Swaziland.
I know the king is doing some stuff over there.
I've been to the king's palace, by the way. Yes. You know, it was for...
So the king of Swaziland, fella, if you've never heard of this, this brother, every year. How many wives he's got?
Over 20.
He's got about 20 wives.
Over 20.
Yeah. I'm just about 20 wives. So it's like every year he
can afford
an opportunity to choose among the virgins, you know? All the virgins stand out there and the king is going to choose.
And those who don't want to be with him, they run away. You have to flee the country.
You have to flee the country?
You can't say no to the king.
What do you mean? So he chooses you, you say no?
You can't say no if he chooses you.
Okay. But are you obliged to be on that line of being chosen?
Those who don't want to be with the king, they usually run away.
Oh.
I've met a lot of women that went to South Africa and they ran away from the king because the king wanted to be with them. They didn't want to be part of the...
Okay, you wanted to say something about Swaziland. Let's get back to that.
If you've been to Swaziland before, no, you said no.
No.
Okay, the country is not, in terms of the infrastructure, infrastructure is not the country you want to...
Not the most impressive.
Not the most impressive. But it's a beautiful country. The nature, you know, the beauty of God's creature.
So, fellas, Swaziland is a kingdom within South Africa. Okay, it's a kingdom in South Africa. It's not South Africa. It's a country in itself, just like Lesotho, but they are inland South Africa. Carry on, sir.
The country is beautiful. The people are amazing. The women are so very respectful. You know,
Swaziland,
if you've been to South Africa for some time, and you travel to Swaziland, the moment you get there, you feel it's different.
The difference in terms of what?
Respect, the approach.
Really?
They would treat you like you one of their own.
Aren't they supposed to be a very similar culture? Because I believe, isn't Swazi very close to Zulu and stuff?
No, not really. Swaziland is a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're very respectful. They treat you like you one of their very own. And like some other places today, when you go, there's a particular word that is appropriate to you because you're not coming from that particular place.
Okay. What are you talking? You're talking about. Be clear. You're talking about South Africa.
Not only South Africa. There are many countries today in Africa whereby if you go there, you'll be treated in a certain way because you don't speak the language. If you go among black people,
they will treat you like you're a foreigner. Yeah. Let's just be clear. And if you go to Swaziland, you got a very different experience. You felt welcome. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. They don't really care. If never really been from where they will treat you with very much, a lot of respect, just like they're treating their very own.
That's very interesting. I would love to experience that.
Yeah.
So what do you know about Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe used to be a beautiful country, my brother. Back in the day, people used to go to Zim to buy merchandise.
Okay.
To sell into Zambia, Congo, everywhere. Okay. Zimbabwe used to be the beauty, that one would want to have somewhere.
I never thought about that.
I'm telling you. Zimbabwe used to, they used to have companies that used to manufacture cars.
Yeah.
They used to manufacture a lot of things. You also have assembly. They would assemble
cars. Together, assemble cars.
Zimbabwe, it was very, they were doing very well economically.
Okay.
And the people were so kind.
Yeah. Zimbabweans were kind.
They were kind.
What are you insinuating? They're not kind anymore?
No, they've changed.
Zimbabweans
Life
have changed.
has changed the Zimbabweans.
Are you saying the misery, the suffering,
the
pain,
the suffering? Everybody sees something out of anybody. If anybody get a chance to take something out of somebody, you are gone.
Isn't that a natural survival mode, perhaps?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I once tried to travel to Zimbabwe by road. Because, sometimes you just want to explore. You want to see the beauty of the nature and stuff like that. Oof. The treatment you get to the border.
Extortion.
Were
they trying to get...
They talk to you harshly.
Were your papers correct, though?
Everything was correct, my brother.
So even though
they're just trying to find something
to get money out of you.
Money out of you. If there's nothing at all, they'll be like, "Hey, my brother, but you can't just leave us like this.
You can't leave us like this.
You can't leave us like this."
I saw one guy complain as well. There was a guy from I think he's a YouTuber traveler from Ghana. I think his name is Wodemaya.
Yeah.
He traveled to Zimbabwe and also in a bit of an funny experience at the airport, saying that he didn't like the treatment quite much. But I can also understand, in some places in Africa, they will push you like that to get money out of you. I remember in Uganda, which is a nice place, for the very first time.
The truth is, Zimbabweans are desperate. That's the word I can really put on it. Zimbabweans are desperate. Economically, the country isn't doing.
Do you think Mugabe's idea to chase white people was a good idea? Robert Mugabe, president of Zimbabwe, ex-president, also a great man of Africa at a certain point during the time Africans were fighting for freedom. The country was occupied by British people, for context. And British people had the lands, the agriculture and everything. Black people were just simple workers and consumers. Robert Mugabe came into power and say, it's about time we take the land back from the whites and give the land back to the people so the people can develop. Now, most white people occupied the land as agriculture, as farmers. They produced food, they produced many of the things that were eaten and bought in Zimbabwe. Once Mugabe put pressure on them, asked them to leave the country, many whites left. He gave the lands to many Zimbabweans. Now, unfortunately, when the whites left, many Zimbabwe took over the companies, but they did not know how to run those companies. And unfortunately, after that, after a very short while, those companies went underground because it was very difficult. And also added to that, sanctions that were hit by America and Britain and many European countries, because Europeans look after each other. Okay, if you fight one European, all Europeans are going to come against you. It's not like Africans. So they hit Zimbabwe with sanctions, and Zimbabweans found themselves in trouble. That's when many Zimbabweans started leaving Zimbabwe, crossing to South Africa, looking for a better life. So was that a good idea from Mugabe?
To some, they will say it was a good idea because as Africans, we need to be independent. We must run our own thing. On the other hand, I don't think it was a good decision at the time. I don't believe it was the worst thing to do, because let's put it this way.
You don't think Zimbabweans were ready for that?
I believe men must always plan. When you plan on doing this, are you wearing the consequences of your actions?
Yeah.
You are doing this against the Queen of England, and this is the most powerful person on earth right now.
Yeah.
Do you have the means to defend yourself when they're going to come against you? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The West is strong, as powerful.
Yeah.
They've got weapons of massive destructions and all these things. Therefore, they like to impose laws and sanctions on other people that are not doing things according to them. So as Africans, I believe whenever we want to do something like that, we need to be prepared.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you feel like Zimbabwe could have done it progressively, like small?
That's what
Let's take 2 or 3 lands here, not 45,000 lands from the white people.
Not even like that. You say if we do it here, we do it in South Africa. We do it in Namibia.
Yeah.
We do it in Zambia. So that together we come as a force.
Yeah.
Therefore, they won't be able to defeat us.
Do you think you can get rid of white people in Africa? I don't think it's possible. I think some of these white people are actually very embedded into the culture of Africa.
Yes, you can with time.
No, I mean, look at South Africa.
The time will tell, my brother.
Let me tell you something. South Africa, you have this political party named the EFF, which is run by Julius Malema. Initially, he came up with the idea of expropriation of land without compensation, meaning taking the land from the white
without compensation. Give them anything.
Let me just remind you here that white people have the majority of land in South Africa. Okay? Yes, but they wanted to take the land from the white. Even though they wanted to take land from the white, they haven't done it.
But let me say something.
Because somewhere they know if white people leave the country...
The question is this, my brother.
Yes, it's going to create mayhem.
Land without compensation. Even if they were to give something to them, what will you give back? What is it that you can give for the land?
Yeah.
That is not the thing to do. I think it's renegotiation. You sit down with these people and say, look, you've occupied this land for so long. We believe we also deserve to have a piece of it. So you have 100. I've got nothing. Let's renegotiate. Give us half. You remain with half. Everybody's happy. Because right now, the whites are strong, my brother, in the world. If you're trying to do it...
You can't push them by force.
You'll be dead. Can I give you names? In Africa. You'll be dead, my brother. Unfortunately, Africa isn't strong right now. Back then, when we were strong, we were ruling the world. Remember the time of Egypt? The Egypt that had the pyramids and all these things. Africans were ruling the world.
Well, white people don't believe that. But
unfortunately, our history was, you know what they did to our history?
White people don't believe that. They believe Egyptians were white. That's what you see in the movies. Egyptians are white.
Today, if you go to Egypt, the black Egyptians are living in the south because they don't want the tourists to know that Egyptians were originally black. And the black Egyptians that lives in the south, actually, they are the ones that contributed to the building of the pyramids.
Okay, so if that is the case, why haven't black people built at the pyramids? If they built the pyramid in the past?
It's because of the impact of what the West did.
So
you must remember colonization came.
So the colonization deleted the ability to think on how to build pyramids.
Didn't you see that there was a guy in France?
Yeah.
He went to the museum. He was claiming the art.
Quelqu'un peut-il vraiment nous démontrer noir sur blanc que ces œuvres-là appartiennent au musée du Quai Branly, alors que les rapports reconnaissent et que le président français de par lui-même reconnaît qu'il a volé à Ouagadougou, il a reconnu.
Yeah. Where are all those children of the people that built the pyramids? if they're all black? Surely they must have told their children how to build pyramids. Where are they?
Well, something happened.
Where are all the traces of that? In villages? Wait. Look at the European village.
Yeah.
This is a European village. Look at an African village.
Okay? That is a good question.
Why isn't Africans who built pyramids do something very similar? Because this is high-level infrastructure. Why can't they do the same things today?
Have you been to Sudan?
Sudan has more pyramids in the world. More pyramids.
They actually have more pyramids than Egypt. There is in Egypt.
Yeah, but people of Sudan are not necessarily...
They are black people.
Not necessarily black.
They are.
No, they're separated now. They were Sudan and South Sudan.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about South Sudan.
But who brought the separation?
God bless.